Thank you for joining us on this presentation on John Kotter's 8-step change model. John Kotter has been known as a modern-day leader in change theory. What makes Kotter's theory so unique is its focus. It is a top-down model that looks at empowering change, whereas other models of change theories focus primarily on the process itself. For Kotter, the key to success is empowering others. What is unique about his model is the stress he has on creating an urgency and identifying barriers so that success can be achieved. In this presentation, we are going to examine the 8 steps in change model, and then to better understand it, apply it to an actual case where it is being used. So here are the 8 steps. There are 8 of them, and we are going to go through each one of those in the next 2 slides. So the first step is to create a sense of urgency. It is vital that we make sure that everybody understands that it is important, whatever our change is, that we need to make sure that everybody is motivated towards this change. Step 2, we build a powerful coalition. We must engage those key players that will make it successful. Third, we create a strategic vision. It must be a well-defined vision. It must be clear and understandable. There must not be any confusion that can lead people off track. Fourth, we need to engage our people. Begin sharing that vision, making it spread throughout the area. Number 5, we want to remember to remove any barriers. We need to identify those obstacles that are blocking our progress and remove them. 6, don't ever forget, we need to make sure we celebrate our short-term wins. It's crucial in this time to make sure that we praise and celebrate our milestones. 7, sustain acceleration. In other words, do not stop now. Make your action stick. 8, institute the change. Make the change the new norm. Do not go backwards. So let's look at an example of how Kotter's 8 steps in motion has been applied. We're going to look at a hospital in Pennsylvania. And what they did is that they examined ways to institute a baby-friendly hospital initiative. And you may ask, why would you want to institute a baby-friendly hospital initiative? Well, in response to the World Health Organization's push to improve infant mortality through promotion of breastfeeding, the U.S. Is trying to make sure that we do more breastfeeding. So the goal of Healthy People 2020 is to have more people by that point breastfeeding their newborns. So this hospital in Pennsylvania that delivers approximately 4,300 deliveries a year, their hospital administration decided to join the push for this baby-friendly designation. So how best to do it? They knew that this would create a change, and change often creates fear. So we needed to make sure that we found out what obstacles there were. So what they did first is they surveyed all their people in their hospital to find out what obstacles that they might have. And from there, they began to build. They took step 1. They created a sense of urgency. They just started discussing why they needed to have this change. They met in huddles. They discussed why this was going to improve their health outcomes of their newborns and their patients. Then second, they designed a task force that was formed with breastfeeding champions to guide this, people who will push us forward. They hand-selected those that they thought were key players. Then third, they engaged the community in the targeting and targeted the staff so that they could get people to buy in their strategic vision. Fourth, they enlisted an army of volunteers to bring forward this information. 5, they then went forward and tried to make sure that they could enable through education and support patients by making it a win-win for patient care. They never forgot in step 6 to celebrate the short-term wins, to acknowledge that they were making success and keep the momentum up. In 7, they sustained the acceleration. They resurveyed at this point and acknowledged what was going well. They fixed any shortcomings. And then in step 8, they instituted the change. In other words, they made sure that they did not go back in their way of taking care of patients. They were moving forward, not backwards. And that's basically how they decided to create this 8-step in motion of Kotter's 8 steps in motion at this facility. Other places have also done this, but this just gives you a good idea of how you can initiate this. Because after all, our goal is to initiate change. Thank you for joining us.